Thank you, Professor Kelly. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Afsana from FST Student Learning Support. I'm going to start off my presentation by sharing with you a personal experience. I came to USP, my first year was as a DFL student, so I did not come to Lodala campus. And the second year that I came, because my friends had come before me, they were in second year, and hence what happened, they had new friends. So when I came here, I did not have a friend. And I was enrolled in a class, that was a DFL class again, and I didn't know, and I spent the whole semester doing one DFL class, and that was in the afternoon at 4 o'clock. So all the people, or 5 o'clock, sorry, the people who attended that class were normally working people. So during the day, they were not here, and I didn't have a friend. I spent the whole semester without a friend, and I went to the library every day because I didn't have a friend, but I never knew how to use the OPAC. So my assignments were absolutely research-free for the first semester. And hence you can guess, my grades were not very good. The second semester, luckily, I made friends with some students who were good students. I wasn't a bad student, I was a high-achieving student. But my experience in the first semester was not very good. Second semester, I met second-year students who came to Lodala campus as first-year students for the first year, which I didn't, and they had more experience. And through them, I learned how to use the library, I learned how to use the OPAC, I learned how to do effective research, and today I'm standing here because I had some good study buddies. Now, not everybody is fortunate to get a good study buddy. Therefore, it is important for us to facilitate such a program whereby we can help some of our students who are at risk, or some of our students whose first-year experience is not so good. I'm a classic example of that. I'll start off, they say, with the help of a friend, you can reach the stars. And I absolutely believe in this. Today I'm going to talk to you about the success of the Study Buddies in the engineering program at FSTE. Study Buddy Model. Study Buddy Model is an initiative under the umbrella of peer mentoring. In this program, what we do is we advertise and recruit high-achieving students from the Faculty of Science and Technology. These students are expected to have a GPA of 3.5 and above. However, that is not sufficient for a study buddy, because a study buddy has to be a person who has the personality, the interpersonal skills, so that students are comfortable working with it. I mean, we can't have a nerd sitting there and having attitude, oh, whatever, because that won't work with a student. A student who is at risk needs somebody who can stand in his or her shoes and understand the difficulties or challenges that that person faces. Therefore, once we receive the applications for the study buddies, we screen the applications and we call the shortlisted applicants for an interview, because it is very important for us to meet the people who are applying for the job in person to know what they are like. And if they click, if they have the right personality, we train them. They get recruited and we train them, and we train them and try to provide them the skill set of a good study buddy. And once the training is done, we have study buddies ready to assist first year, at risk, or students at any level who would need some sort of assistance. A study buddy is a brain to pick, an ear to listen, and a push in the right direction. And to ensure that we have quality graduates, or to reduce attrition rate, or to reduce failure, we need somebody like that in our lives. The aim of this program, the aim of this model is to reach out to as many at-risk or first-year students as possible, making learning accessible and fun, and bridging the gap between the teacher, peer, and student. I would like to elaborate on this point here by giving an example. Last semester, I also teach EL001. Last semester, I had a student in my class, a Kiribati girl, and she shared this experience as part of her oral presentation, impromptu presentation. She stood up and she said, she was a very quiet student, so I always tried to talk to her most of the time to get her comfortable. And then the day she had a presentation, she stood up and she talked about her first year experience. And she said that first year, I failed nearly all my units. This semester, my sponsors had only allowed me one unit, that was EL001. And if I pass this unit, they will consider. And then she shared why she didn't attend the class. We have many students in our classes who don't turn up. But do we know what the reasons are behind that? This student did not go to class. She went to the lectures, she didn't go to the tutorials. She didn't go to the tutorials because she felt her English was bad. And in a tutorial, the tutor generally asks you questions and you're expected to answer. There is more interaction. So she went to the lectures but didn't go to the tutorials. None of the tutorials, or at least one or two only, because she had the fear that somebody will talk to her, and when she talks, she might mispronounce a word. And if she mispronounces a word, this is the Pacific. We laugh at people's mistakes. Sometimes students generally, right? We laugh at a lot of things. So people would laugh at her. And this student ended up failing the units that she was doing in the first year. Therefore, the aim of this program is to assist such students and to bridge the gap. Now, there are two ways in which we can bridge the gap. One, if the tutor or the lecturer identifies a student who is constantly missing classes, then probably it would be a good thing to contact the student learning support. Now with the decentralization, each faculty has student learning support staff with them. They can contact their student learning support staff and give the students information. Then the student learning staff, what they do is they inform the mentors. When a teacher or when somebody in authority emails you, it's very difficult, you're in so much pressure, the teacher is calling me, what's going to happen, I'm not attending my tutorial. So rather than that, the mentor contacts the student and says, hi, I'm a study buddy, would you like some help? I can help you in your studies. And the catchphrases are, this is absolutely free of charge. And of course, many students respond. Many students respond. And if these students come to the mentoring program, we can identify their challenges, we can upskill them in the areas that they need assistance in, and then we can set meeting times with their lecturers or tutors so that we can assist the student. This is what the lecturer or the tutor can do to get this bridge. To bridge the gap. And if the student is really good, what the student can do is he realizes he or she needs a buddy, he comes up to the student support staff and he or she signs up. A lot of students do this, so there are two ways of going about it. I'm going to talk to you about the FST study buddy model. The first point of this model is the realization point. Now realization, this program is open to students from the first day of the semester to the last day of lectures. And if the students come on the second last day of the lectures, we still accept them. Because for some people it takes a long time to realize. And if we turn the student off there and say, no, you come next semester, they will never come. So the realization point is very important. Some students are really clever and they realize at the very beginning of the semester, because during orientation, we run a program whereby we orient the students about the services, student support services that we have available for them. So some students sign up, all they need to do is they sign up. Then the mentors who have been trained take up their names and they contact them, and the meeting happens every week and they're being helped. Some students don't do this. Some students realize the need for a buddy after they get the first test, or the second test, or after the mid-semester, or some just before the exams. Lecturers and tutors, in some cases the realization point occurs when the lecturers and tutors identify at-risk students. The Faculty of Science, Technology and Environment, we have a program, we have a system whereby some of the lecturers are working very closely with the student support staff. They have a list of their student attendance and performance, and when they identify students who are not doing so well or missing classes, their names are referred to us. We then refer the names to the mentors, and the mentors work with the students. The lecturers follow up on the students' progress in terms of the sessions that they're having with their study buddies. And sometimes it is the sponsors who identify the at-risk students and make a referral to the support staff. As part of promotion for this program, the study buddies go into lectures, first lecture or the second lecture in the semester, and they inform the students about this program. When we have the class share, some of the lecturers put the context and the details and information about the study buddy program on the class share, so students knew where to go and who to contact. Once realization has taken place and the student or whoever has realized that there is need for help and they have contacted the support team, then there's a question of support. The support team ensures that the study buddies meet with the student, the at-risk student, the first-year student, and sometimes the students who come to us, they're not at-risk, they are first-year students, they're very high-achieving students, but they feel that they can get more from another student who's been there and done it. so they join the program as well. The reports of this, once the study buddy and the student meet, they establish a timetable and they meet at that time every week. Now this time it's set at the, we don't set this time, it's set at the convenience of the student and the study buddy so that it does not clash with their lectures. Because we run workshops at Student Learning Support, and what happens, 4 or 5 students turn up. A lot sign up, but only 4 or 5 turn up, and the reason is because it clashes with their lecture time. But the mentoring sessions are flexible, so it is set at a time when the student is free and the study buddy is free, so they can sit together and discuss. To ensure that quality work is being done in this session, the study buddies are expected to submit reports to the mentoring program supervisor. We look at the programs, we look at what they have submitted, we look at the report, we look at the information there, and if it's something very casual and not much work is being done, then the study buddy is called in and he's informed this is what he or she should be doing, and he or she needs to pull up their socks or whatever they have to do, and they work according to it. And if they're performing well, then they're not called back, they're just given feedback via email. If they're still making mistakes, they fall back. This is to ensure that whatever transpires in the 1-hour meeting that they have is quality and students get some sort of support. Monitoring progress is also very important. Lecturers or tutors who make referrals follow up on their students. When they request for the reports, we send the reports to them so they know what's happening in the session that the student is having with the study buddy, and through that they can identify what some of the challenges the student is facing. Sponsors follow up, they make referrals, and then we're expected to report back whether the student has been attending the session or not, and how many sessions he or she has attended, and what sort of work was done in that session. And performance of mentees or students, in this case, who need help, is monitored to see if there is a change. As I go through my slides, I'm going to talk about 3 students who've been mentored, and we will look at their performance, whether there was a change in their performance or not. What we hope to achieve through this model is student achievement. How we measure student achievement could be by at-risk students passing their exams or their short tests and quizzes. Students improving their performance as the semester progresses. We can't plant a seed today and expect a fruit tomorrow. So as the semester progresses, if the student is doing a little better than what he or she is doing, I think it's working to some extent. And lower attrition and failure rates. That's what we want to do. Why engineering students need study buddies? It's a new subject. There are some subjects that students work in high school. I know there is technical drawing, maths and physics is in the high school, but in totality, engineering is a totally new subject for some students, and it can be very overwhelming for them. Problems with application of maths and physics, 100-year students, sometimes they're really good, but when they go into second year, when it comes to application, that's when student attrition rate increases because students are not coping. Students also need mentoring for interpersonal skills development. Some students are really good, but they cannot communicate their problems. Communication skills is a barrier for them. They cannot communicate what their problem is, so the lecturer or tutor, whoever is there, cannot assist the student. Awareness of what is available. If a student has a study buddy has done a particular unit, let's say MM103, the student has done the unit, he's done the assignment, so he knows which journals are applicable, which websites are really good, what databases are available in the library. But a first-year student who's studying the first semester wouldn't really know what is available. But if there's a buddy, there's some extra help. And of course, we need study buddies due to falling student numbers. The other reason is parents and governments are recognizing the importance of this program, therefore more and more students are coming in. And as more and more students are coming in, there's a wide range of capabilities that we are dealing with, student capabilities. And therefore there's more need for this kind of a program so that we look at the needs of different people. And sometimes students get demotivated by the first test or the first quiz or by the mid-semester, and they don't want to go to class because they've already made up their mind, I will eventually fail, or I cannot do it, or I will change my program. So if you have a study buddy can help the student at least do some good in his or her whatever studies that he's doing, the unit that he or she is studying. Now what sort of assistance do study buddies give. My apologies for the errors. This is directly from a student mentor study buddy, so there are a few errors. I did not change it because it's a report that is submitted to it. This is for engineering MM 103. The first session happens. What happens in the first session is they have a meeting time, they establish a relationship, and then they meet weekly. And of course, then they are prepared. If there's a quiz, they go through what was in the lecture. If students don't understand, so students come up with their own questions. Student response to mentoring over the years. This data is only for engineering students. The mentoring program started before 2005. I've been keeping record of this program since 2005. And engineering, for engineering, in 2005 we had 5 students. Until 2010, up till 2009, we did not have any students. This semester, semester 2-2010, we have had 16 students, and we think it's a big achievement because the student numbers have grown threefold. And this is approximately 8 to 10% of the engineering students with the faculty. Why is this semester considered success? Student numbers have grown. Lecturers help identify high-achieving students who can be potential mentors. And this semester we had 16 students being helped because we had 2 very good mentors. In the previous years it was very hard to find a study buddy, but with the help of the lecturers we've been able to do that. Sponsors, lecturers and tutors identify at-risk students and refer them for mentoring to get a study buddy, and curtail attrition rate in lectures and tutorials. The holistic picture of success: student attendances improved, and in 103, 3 students who have been mentored under the study buddy model had 100% attendance in their tutorials. Approach to studies improves. I have a little video clip if I have a time. It's an interview of an EE 102 mentee, and he talks about how his approach to studies improved and how his confidence level improved and interpersonal skills development. And of course, the pass rate, I cannot give you any figures now because we still have to look at the exams to see how they're doing. Student performance increases in most cases. These are 3 MM 103 students, and their performance, the quiz 1 and test 1 was before having a study buddy, and the quiz 2 and the test 2 is after having a study buddy. The percentage wise, the first student for the quiz has, from the first quiz to the second quiz, the first student had improved by 34%, the second student improved by 26.4%, and the third student improved by 28%. If we look at the class average improved by 20.5%. So all these 3 students who had study buddies did relatively well, did fairly well compared to the class average. And the same applies for the test. The first student had a 12% improvement from the first test to the second test, and 13% improvement for the second student from the first test to the second one, and 50% improvement for the third student. And again, this is far more than the class average improvement, which is 6.8%. There are many contributing factors for the student failure and attrition rates: language barrier, confidence level of the students, fear of consulting a lecturer or tutor, fear of not getting it the first time, and if I ask the question again, I'm supposed to be done, consultation time clashing with another lecture. But if we have this program, the study buddy model would be a tool to invest in to meet our KPIs and achieve the deliverables of the strategic plan 2010-2012 in terms of improving student pass rate, success and retention rate, and contributing to graduate attributes and producing quality graduates. Now, if I have a minute, so I'll play the clip. Before we come to the scary part and you ask me plenty of questions, I'll play a student interview for you. This is Viljami Polaki, and this is what the lecturer had to say about the student. You can read it while I play the clip for you. I hope it works.
Hello, my name is Viljami Polaki, and I'm from the island of Tonga. And this is my first year in USP. My program is doing Bachelor of Engineering in Technology.
Hello, Viljami. How did you learn about the mentoring program? How did you come to know that there was a program such as mentoring?
Because of I'm a sponsor student, so my sponsors brought me here to the mentoring. Like they encouraged me to come and work with a mentor or choose a mentor to work with because it's easy and they are very helpful. So I came to check and I found a lot of things like good things about it.
So you found a mentor through your sponsors?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you aware that there was a program like this in the first semester?
Yes.
Why didn't you join the program earlier?
Because I don't really know what the program is and I don't know what we're going to do in the things like that because I haven't met the same program before. So that's why I didn't attend the first semester.
You didn't know about the mentoring program in the first
Yes.
semester. Okay. But now that you know about it and
Yes.
you are being mentored, do you think that if you knew about this program, you would have been willing to join it in the first semester?
Yes.
Why?
Because I found it good and very helpful.
Okay.
So if I know it the first semester, I can be part of it to have my study.
When you attend a mentoring session, what sort of assistance do you get?
I get very helpful, like doing exercises. So my mentor explained some question I asked him, and he explained it clearly. The good things about mentor because you feel like asking any question, so the mentor try to answer that. So even though he didn't remember that, but he tried to answer that question because to make you feel better.
So the questions that you ask your mentor, where do you get these questions from?
This question I get it from questions to the tutorials and the lectures. There are some questions that the tutor during the lecture explain it, but some tutor they explain it very fast, so I can get.
Sorry, time's up.
Well, I think that I certainly want to say that it's excellent to end on a student progress note, but I do want to give you some time for some questions and to be fair to everybody, we take some bit of time. Listen, you've done an excellent job, so if you have some questions and comments here that you want to ask, Shana, because I think it's another critical area of student success, student experience, all of those things. There's been a lot of presentations here that I think go to the core of what we're on about and what we're going to focus on in the years to come, even more so in a systematic way, exactly this way. This is a paper presentation that I asked to be included in this two-day forum, so I thank you for stepping up to do it. So, questions, comments, somebody? Yeah, there.
You used to know how this students choose the body. Do you recommend the body or they have some choice that they don't want to fit?
Okay.
Because there has been some personality in that also.
Thank you for the question. In some cases, some of the study buddies get very popular, and because they continue into the next semester, some students come with a preference and say, I would like to work with Samsung. But in some cases, they do come in and we do give them a choice if we have 2 or 3 mentors to work with. Otherwise, we assign them to a person, but if they're not happy, they're always welcome to come back to us and inform us.
Anybody else? Any other area tried the same mentoring program? Any mentoring program? Any other faculty? School? No, we've got work to do. You have? You want to comment? Just about you need a mic. Then work that mic.
Thank you. I just stood among the students in one of my courses. I find that, well, I have read that teaching, the best way of retaining information is by teaching somebody else the information. And so I encourage my students to form their own study groups. And a lot of them do. And, it helps those students that are afraid to speak up in class to work more closely with some of those other students who are much more active in class. I've heard from my students, afterwards, but it does really help them a lot. So it's more on an informal basis.
Thank you. Thank you. There's always work to go on that one. Anyone else want to make a comment before we? Did you want to respond to that? That's a more formal approach, recognising the value of the comment on that and why you moved into a much more systematic approach.
Yes, I think it's a good approach whereby we get students in the class to help somebody else. But the question is, how long will that last without an incentive? And a study buddy is taking, in a classroom it really works, but the more systematic way of doing this, we have opted for this system is because when we have an award system and we do pay the mentors. So they know that they're getting something out of it because they're students, they're taking out their time, they're helping somebody. So they get something out of it and the student benefits as well. This is to ensure that the mentor, the study buddy continues. If it's something out of free will, they will help when they want to and they will say, I can't do it, I'm busy today. But it becomes more like they are employed by USP as study buddies, so they have a responsibility.
Yes, I think yes, and as Angela said, responsibility and accountability. And it is the informal will take you just so far. And it does. It's interesting that you came into it yourself through an informal approach, recognise the need for systematising it. So I think that's good. We've got work to do with your mind. Right over there. There's a green shirt, a guy in a green shirt, moving around. I don't know. Tuesday afternoon, everyone decided to move to the other side. It'll get me now. We're in the middle of it. Very confusing. The elderly amongst us have got you all to see.
I just support the previous comment about voluntary group discussions. I had students who formed their own group without any encouragement from me, really. But it was noticeable. I actually turned up at it once and tried to talk about something. But it seemed to me that, and this is different from the approach that Shana's been describing, it tends to be the better students who turn up for that. The weaker students, the less confident ones, tend not to come. So the good ones reinforce each other, and some of the stuff I teach is not that easy. And did you understand it? Oh, I think it's about this, or they've got a breadth of experience, or whatever, so they can perhaps reinforce each other. But my observation was it was the stronger students who were there.
Well, thank you. Is that your experience? You're doing the at-risk though. Stronger students working with the at-risk students, I suppose.
Perhaps I can make one last comment on that. We find that with undergraduate, particularly first-year students, that is the case when we have special tutorials. We will always have the better students coming. We really don't need it, but they're the ones who turn up. And that's why we're taking this quite systematic approach to ensure that we, in one way or another, drive these at-risk students to that support. Otherwise, it's just almost impossible to get them.
Thank you very much for the excellent presentation. I was just going to suggest if we could, extend what was being done face to face. Because while we're presenting, I was thinking of the students out there in the region. We've got the technology, they could mentor online, they could call, use the phone for a couple of minutes for free to every campus. Use the technology to extend what you're doing with the engineering students.
No, that's actually that's an idea that's on its way, and you're going to help me with that. Nobody actually suggests anything around here, but they get a job to follow up. So that's it. But I think the virtual study buddy, the whole sort of thing. I mean, people are texting and twittering and all those things all over the place, and there is no quitting. There is no point. There's no way that we can't institutionalise that, formalise that to be supportive and one-on-one and supporting it financially in other ways. I think absolutely, because we know that the success rate of the students in the regions and those in DFL is lower, and there's a lot of ways in to that, and we have to try more. So thank you.
Can I just?
Who's this?
Can I thank you for that comment. Actually, we thought of that too. We have started off with email. We had some students last semester, and we have an FST email address. We have advertised it. We encourage students to write to us on that email, and also our mentors or study buddies help them online by writing to them. I know that the Learning platform is on trial now, so hopefully if we get the money and funding for that, then probably that's another platform that we can look at in terms of assisting students out in the region. But we are getting some requests from students out in the region.
That's good. And I don't know how stable is the live chat. Sarah, does live chat altogether, or does it drop out? You know, if you had it rather than an email, you know, when you've got would that work?